If I were a better person, I wouldn't find this so funny. I wouldn't be so easily amused by this. And I probably wouldn't be as satisfied as I am right now. But I'm not a better person. And I do find this incredibly satisfying. I find it so amusing. And I do find this unbelievably funny. Don't give me that look. I did warn you. I said, have some common sense. Shad has partnered you up with me again. Don't try to spar with Annie instead. I told you not to, and you didn't listen. What were you trying to do? Since you think that my entire world revolves around you, did you think that I would get jealous? Did you think that I would be annoyed by the idea of having a break from you? Did you think that I would be frustrated that Annie would get your attention instead of me? You really shouldn't flatter yourself like that. No matter what convoluted scenario you contrive, I will never be jealous of someone else for being annoyed by you, for being subjected to your strange and absolutely ridiculous advances. The only reason that I told you not to train with her was because I know exactly what she does to people like you. People who get on her nerves. Do you remember what I did to you when you refused to leave me alone? Do you remember the way you bled? The way your bones were broken, almost irreparably? Do you remember the weeks you spent recovering from what I did to you? Annie isn't without skill. That much is obvious. However, she has no interest in sharing her knowledge or her skills with anyone else. She stays to the side because she doesn't feel like doing something that doesn't count toward our final grade. Honestly, I can't say I blame her for that. It is certainly a lot of work, all for nothing, it would seem. So I knew that the second you walked over to her, saying that you wanted to learn from her, insisting that she spar with you, I knew exactly what she would do. She did the same thing to Reiner. She did the same thing to Aaron. And now, she's done it to you. The beating I gave you probably feels like pins and needles in comparison, doesn't it? Now you want my help? You want me to walk you to the infirmary after you got your ass kicked? All because you couldn't follow a simple instruction? Exactly how big is your ego? Exactly how little sense do you have? You are not a victim in this. I warned you, and you decided not to listen. Why? Because you thought that you could make me jealous. You thought that I would come rushing over to drag you away the second she started paying attention to you. You thought wrong. You are so deluded in your thinking that I almost pity you. I feel nothing for you. Nothing whatsoever. Except, of course, fury. For all of the times that you insist I must love you. For all of the times that you refuse to listen to me. And for all of the times that you refuse to just leave me alone. You did this to yourself. If you want me to help you now, you need to really earn it. How can you do that? First, I would like you to apologize for not listening to me, for annoying me every time we train together, and for refusing to just stop insisting that I like you. Apologize for all of those things. Say what you are apologizing for. Good. Keep going. And what's the last one? That's much better. Next. Oh, did you really think that I would stop after getting just an apology? After everything that you have been saying to me, everything you have been doing lately, you need a little bit more of a lesson than just being forced to give me an apology. So yes, next. Next, I want you to swear that you will leave me alone outside of training. That's more like it. And finally, say that I don't like you. Make me believe that you believe it. Good. Now that we have that settled, I will help you. Give me your arm if you can. Okay. Oh. By the walls. Don't move. Do not try to get up. Do you understand me? Look at your leg. Do you see that lump? That isn't just a bump from getting hit. You're in so much pain right now. You're in a state of shock. Your body is pumping you full of adrenaline so that you can't feel all of this, but that is bone from a broken leg. If you try to get up, it will rip through your skin. I know. So I'm going to help you, but I really need you to just keep your mouth shut while I do this. Do you understand me? Good. Wrap your arms around my neck. Just do it. I'm going to pick you up now. That will keep all of your weight off of that leg, and hopefully the bone will stay inside of you. You're probably not going to be walking for a while, but that's certainly better than the alternative. Now just hold on to me. 1, 2, 3. You are so much heavier when you can't move your body at all. Yes, it's exactly like a bunch of dead weight. In fact, that's actually why it's called dead weight. It's based off of the weight that you acquire when you die. You aren't able to help support yourself, so your limp body is that much more difficult to carry, to move. Dead weight refers to something that is essentially as heavy and as limp as a corpse. Hopefully, you just remain like dead weight for now. What did I just say? What did I tell you about implying that I like you? Just because I don't want you to die doesn't mean I like you. In fact, I just don't want you to die in my arms. Because, genius, that would be traumatizing for me. And it would be a great deal of annoyance. I have had more than enough of that for one lifetime. I don't need this weighing on my mind too. Do you ever say something and then realize a moment later just how hurtful it was? Do you ever wish for just 1 second that you could rewind time by 30 seconds and just take it all back? You annoy me to the point that I don't even want to look at you. Yet at the same time I do, because sometimes I need that anger and that annoyance to feel something other than utter fear over the reason I'm even here. You are arrogant, you are extremely stubborn and persistent to the point that I could probably report you. However, I don't want you to die. And it isn't just because I don't want you dying in my arms. You infuriate me. But you aren't a completely horrible person. You don't deserve to die. At least not anytime soon. I have known a lot of horrible people who have died, and I have known so many good people who have died. You are one of the somewhat decent ones. You don't deserve to die. And no matter what I said, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that, if I can help it, you don't die anytime soon. Would you shut up? Just because I don't want you to die doesn't mean I love you. We'll talk about this later. Do you understand me? But right now, you have been still far too long. Soon you're going to pass out, and your body will begin to succumb to your injuries. I'll try to be there when you wake up, but it might be a while. So we'll talk about this later. Do you understand me?